everything that I've seen that you've done has definitely helped to promote the convention, and I certainly appreciate you taking your time to go around and do it. You're always spoken very highly of whenever I hear anybody mention your work there. So
that's because they all think I'm you.
No. That's actually really funny though. You've been attending the convention longer than I have. And the fact that you were mistaken for me, well, that happens a lot, though. We get that, we've gotten that from other people who seem to think we look alike. And the fact that we're both ventriloquists,
Well, and then there was the year that we were both on the stage, back to back. That helped as well.
Yeah, and okay, we were there.
So let me go back to that for a minute, because I think that's important. I mentioned that in 2005 I wrote down. Well, actually, it was actually a 5-year plan. It wasn't a 10-year plan. It was a 5-year plan. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I wrote down on that list was that within 5 years I would be asked to perform at the convention. And I can't tell you how big of a thrill it was to be asked to perform at the convention, especially on year 5 of my 5-year plan.
That's cool.
Because I really needed that, especially at that time, and it was a thrill to be there. And as you know, it's nerve-wracking. It's one of the hardest audiences, one of the hardest places to perform as a performer of the same genre, right?
It is, especially when you're on an evening show. I mean, I could see if you were doing an open mic situation, or there's no pressure. But when you're up on that stage for an evening show, everybody's there to see you right at that moment, and it was something I don't relish the idea of doing ever again. They're your peers; they know what you're doing, so it's all about your material, and you just question: is the material that I've developed, who's getting the lay audience to laugh, is going to make a ventriloquist audience laugh?
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's the other thing that I'd like to touch on just for a minute, is that people often ask me when I go to places whether I still get stage fright. And my answer is no. I use the energy, though. There's still a lot of energy that I feel. And I think if I lose that energy, then I know that I'm done. Mm-hmm. But the one thing I get nervous about is, did I bring the right material for that audience? I think you've nailed it there with it. When you go to the ventriloquist convention, what's going to be right for this audience? And how is it different than the other audiences that I usually serve?
That brings up a very good point, because one of the things that I've seen over the years that I've been there is every time an act goes on stage and doesn't do material that they have honed and are familiar with, they bomb horribly.
Yeah.
So you walk that edge, and it's I don't want to scare anybody out from who may one day perform at the convention, but it can be nerve-wracking to do that. And I think it's a big mistake when you try to do something you've never done before, because we've seen acts get up and fail miserably that way.
Yeah, it's good for the open mic. That's really what the open mic is about, is trying something new and getting feedback on it. But here's another Ken Groves-ism for you. And I actually didn't get this from Ken Groves, but it came about because of Ken. Several years back, Ken was booked along with Mike Bishop at a fair that he does every summer. Mm-hmm. It's out in the woods somewhere. I forget exactly the name of the thing, but he and Mike do this. They've been doing it for years. And there was one particular year when Ken was really, really sick and had to back out. And they asked me whether I would fill in for him. And I was nervous to go in and fill in for Ken, because I'm not Ken. My act is completely different from Ken's act. Mm-hmm. And Mike said, just do your act. And that was huge, to think, okay, that's right. I am David. This is my show. This is what I'm doing. I can't be Ken. I'll never be Ken. Do my show. And it went well. It made a huge difference for Mike to say that. But I think that at the convention on that stage, we all think that we need to be Jeff Dunham or Terry Fader or whoever. We need to be somebody else, because we're not good enough.